Hey everybody, and welcome to the pure Sky Striker deck profile that I took to Nationals last weekend. This is what I played in the main event. I didn't do all that great, so it's not really even worth mentioning my record. But honestly, if I wouldn't have made a few mistakes with some plays that I had, I honestly would have done a lot better. I don't know if I would have topped, honestly, but I would have done definitely way better than I did. So you just got to remember a few little combos in this, and then you can obviously just go off with this and just, you could probably top a regional easily, as well as win locals. I don't know. That's my idea here, but a few of these card choices are a little bit off. So yeah, but for the most part, the ratios were actually really good. So I'll get into it. So 3 Ray, this is just the best card. Ray is just so broken. I don't know why people aren't playing the pure over pure Trickstar or over Sky Striker Trickstar. I love Ray, so that's why I chose to play this over the Trickstar deck. Plus, I didn't really like the way that it kind of worked, but whatever. 2 Diabolos. This is just, you play Desires in this deck, so you don't want to banish your second one or banish both. It kind of sucks seeing both, but it only ever came up I think once, so I didn't really worry about it too much, where I had both in hand, so it was no issue there. 3 Gamma and the Driver. Really sucks to banish this off of Desires, and it sucks to draw it, but honestly it worked wonders all day. I think this was amazing. Sucks against the Trickstar Sky Striker matchup, which is mostly what I played against, but even then it's not even that bad, so I thought it was definitely amazing and well worth playing. I played 3 Engage, obviously, and 3 Drones. I originally had this at 2 because this always gets cherries, but it actually worked really well, and I didn't get cherries a single time, actually, so I was really surprised. No worries, in that aspect. Should have played 3 of this, 2 Widow Anchor. It came up where I wanted the third one every once in a while because I banished this one off Desires, and I'd set this one with multi-roll, and then I want a second one from decks, and I want to search it with Engage, but I didn't have one. So in future versions, I will play 3, but for the most part, all of these other ratios were perfect. 2 multi-roll. Don't play 3 of this because it's dead in your hand. You can set it with itself and target it or something, or you can even have both on the field and then use a Widow Anchor or any Sky Striker spell and then just set 2 in the end phase instead of just the 1. So that's kind of interesting, but it's, other than that, it's not really that great. I think 2 is a good ratio. 3 is too much. Don't play 3. 1, you could probably even get away with just playing 1, but in this build I like playing 2. 2 Afterburners. You want to see the second one sometimes, so I think it's really worth it. It kind of baits the Trickstar's back row, so I think this one's way better than the Jamming Wave, which I just played 1 of. But you got to play the Jamming Wave just because that's non-targeting removal. It's your only out to Diabolos or any sort of non-targeting or monster that can't be targeted. So that's why you play Jamming Wave. The rest are just one-ofs, of course, of Sky Striker spells. So the 1 Area 0 and 1 Shark Cannon. Shark Cannon was really good to just reborn their Kagari if they locked you out of a if they extra link, or not extra link you, but and this came up a lot is what I'm saying. I don't remember exact situations, but I loved the Shark Cannon. It was really great. For just regular spells, we played 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This might seem a little bit weird, but these also count as your 4th and 5th, or 4th and 5th copies of Engage, because you can go, if you have a Drones in hand, you just send it Engage, and then you go Drones, Kagari, add Engage. So this is your 4th and 5th copies of Engage. The reason that we only play 2 is because we're kind of doing something a little bit different. We're playing 2 Metalphos Fusion. It came up every once in a while where I had 2, and I couldn't use the other effect, but it honestly was perfect. I wouldn't change this ratio at all. This was really good. The idea behind it is that if you have 3 of this and 3 goods and 1 fusion, if you draw in a 2 burial, 2 Foolish Burial Goods, 1 of them is dead in your hand. Whereas in this case, they're not exactly dead because you can just set this and then use multi-roll, and then you can use this for any other Sky Striker spell. So that was the whole idea. Basically, you want to spread out your ratios as much as you can so that even if you draw multiples like this, This isn't a two foolish burial goods and one of them's dead. It makes one of them a little bit less, like more live or whatever. It's kind of like a weird way to like look at it, but I think it worked perfectly and I wouldn't change it. It was just amazing. We played 2 Called by the Grave. This card stops like Ray in the mirror match, which is insane. So stopping the Ray's tribute effect and then they just don't get anything out of it is just beautiful. So Called by the Grave was insane. I loved it. I should have played a third one in the side deck, but I didn't. 2 Desires. Honestly, I could even see the argument for playing just 1 in this deck. I think 2 is fine though, because if you ever draw the second one off of the first Desires or anything like that, the other one is dead. You don't want to use it for the rest of the game, so you just set it and then you use it for multi-roll or whatever. But I think 2 is fine because you want to see it, but you don't want to see the second one, which is fine. So I could even see the argument for just playing 1. Don't play 3 in this deck because like it'll just make it more often that you get the dead cards, because you only want to resolve this once. You don't ever want to resolve it twice. If you resolve it twice, you're basically going to lose the game. There was once where I even decked out and I only activated Desires once, so I actually decked out in this tournament. So it was pretty dumb. Double Twin Twister, this was insane. I probably should have played the third one in the side deck as well, but 2 was really perfect, so I really liked that. And then the 1 Terraforming to search the field spell, and then for consistency, I guess, Upstart, or just to put a spell engrave, you know, for all your Sky Striker spells. The last cards that we played were trap cards, so we played 2 Infinite Impermanence. This was to stop like Goki Spiral boards because they can't Call by the Grave this. Basically, the whole point of this deck is you don't play the regular hand traps like Ash Blossom and Draw and Lockbird. Plus, I don't really like those as much as I like these ones anyways. But you can't Call by the Grave these cards because they don't go to the graveyard. So it makes it all of their Call by the Graves dead in their hand. So it was really, really nice. Also 2 evenly matched. This is a going second list anyways. So we wanted to max out on you know, all of the times that we want to just like destroy our opponent basically. One person actually didn't know the ruling with this card with Ray. So they banished like Shizuku and like a ton of their back row, and they tried using Ray's effect, and I was like, dude, you can't do that. And he's like, why? Like, this card, you know, makes me banish cards. Why can't I activate Ray? And it's because like evenly match is just a weird card where your opponent is doing the banishing, so it's not a card effect. It's kind of weird, so Ray doesn't trigger. It's really, really weird. I think it's kind of dumb, but that's just how it's ruled. So we actually had to call like a head judge and stuff, and that's how he ruled it. So just remember that, by the way. But yeah, so for extra deck, obviously we played the 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku. Both of them were just amazing. No complaints. Link Karibo, Unicorn, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Trisbania. This should have been a Link 4 or a second Unicorn. I can't decide if I want to play another Unicorn or like Topologic Bomber Dragon or something. It came up every once in a while where I wanted to go into Link 4, but I didn't have you know, the cards to do it. So I thought that honestly, Trisbania was okay. I think it came up once where I actually used it, but it was just okay. Definitely trade the Trisbania for something. Best cards ever: Scrap Dragon and Omega. If you summon these guys off of the side frame dudes, Scrap Dragon just gets rid of a card on the field, like a Floodgate. You know, if you're playing against like, I don't know, like True Draco or Altergeist or something like that. And Omega is just if you're going first, obviously, in the like awkward cases that you are, or if you don't want to hit a Floodgate or something, you can just go for Omega. Both of them are really good because they get out of your extra monster zone. You don't want to play like anything like I don't know, like Stardust or something. Don't play that. So, you know, just play something that gets out of your extra monster zone. So these 2 were perfect. The rest, we played 2 Cherries targets. We played Isolde and Electrumite. So yeah, I didn't want to play against those. I don't want to lose to that. Moving on to side deck. For Goki, we played these balls. We also like play the cherries or whatever, but yeah, this came up, I think, I want to say like once, and it was against like a Pendulum Magician guy. I don't remember. My cousin was playing Pendulum Magicians at this event, so during testing, I played these to get rid of him. I think these are mandatory to play, so I didn't care too much. I didn't really see it that much though, but they are definitely like mandatory to play. 2 Typhoons for Altergeist or like, you know, Pendulums or any of those types of decks. Really good. Those came up a lot. We play, one sec, sorry, it's a little awkward. The rest of these are weird sleeves because I was using them for something else, but whatever. 3 Shared Ride, obviously just going first against the Mirror Match or Trick Stars. Wins you games, honestly. But yeah. To go along with that, we played triple Ash Blossom. So basically, the function of Ash's format is to hit Shared Ride. So basically, you want to play Shared Ride, but you want to also stop the Shared Ride. So that's why we play this. It's just okay, honestly, this format. Really, you just want to hit Shared Ride, engage if they have 3 spells in grave, or Shizuku if they don't have engage in hand. Maybe sometimes you want to hit Candina, depending on if it's like a simplified game state or not, or if you want to just hold this to hit the engage. I hit Candina sometimes, but honestly, there's only like a couple cards in this format that you want to hit. You don't want to like shotgun this and like hit like, I don't know, like an engage, like if they like just activate the engage first thing, you don't really want to hit it there. You kind of want to wait until they, you know, get like the 3 spells in grave, and then it'll hit them and it'll hurt them a lot more because they can just immediately add back the engage with like drones and stuff. So it's not even worth it just to hit the first time. The last cards we played were obviously the Cherries, and we played the last Cherries target, Double Helix in the side deck. The reason that we didn't play this in the extra deck is because I didn't really have enough space, and so basically I decided, well, which one is the best one to take out? So the idea here is that it's kind of a weird idea, but I guess it's good in theory. So if I have I can summon Isolde off of like the token and Ray, right? So I mean, Isolde is kind of live in my extra deck, so I was like, okay, I guess I can play that. Maybe it'll come up. It'll be very, very bad if it ever does. Maybe I'll run out of Kagari Shizukus and I can go into this or something, and it's, you know, I'll beat over Lycoris or something, I don't know. So that was like the whole idea why like I played Isolde over Double Helix. So I was like, okay, so why would I play Electrum over Double Helix? And so Electrum, you can still play this over Double Helix because you can Widow Anchor 2 of their Pendulums and then go into it, I guess. So I guess that's an option. It's a better option than Double Helix because they're always going to have Resort on field, so you're never going to be able to target their cards with Widow Anchor. So that was the idea. Kind of dumb, but a little bit of deck building theory, I guess, there. Of course, it's never going to come up in a million years, but you know, might as well just optimize your build as much as you can. So yeah, that's it for this list. Let me know what you guys think. The only cards I'd really change was definitely like the like Cherries targets, because like Cherries never came up, so I maybe like, I don't know, I might play like Ogres or something to stop Pendulum Magicians and the Goki boards a little bit more, and Spiral. I think that's what I would probably do, play like Ogres, and I'd probably start playing like, I don't know, like Scapegoats or something to just expand like the extra deck and, you know, have a lot better plays. But yeah, that's it for this list. It was a lot of fun. I had an amazing time. It was well worth it. If you guys go to nationals at least once, you know, you guys have to have the experience. It's really, really fun. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for another deck profile. See you.